kick things off, I want to clarify that I tend to think of books nutritionally, right? Some books are going to be like pretty meaty, more intense foods. And some books are dessert. They're like milk duds. The meaty foods, the meaty books, right? There's a lot to talk about. They're more literary. I do read a lot of literary fiction. There's thematic content, there's characterization, there's really thoughtful prose. There's just a lot to digest. And the dessert books, when you eat them, you're like, milk duds! and then maybe there's less to talk about when you're finished because there's less to digest with dessert. Doesn't always mean they're empty calories. Sometimes you need to eat sweet things, right? These books ended up while I read them, I thought that I was eating milk duds, and then I still think about them. So I want to kick things off with books that are fun. Okay, I know it's after Labor Day, but it's not too late for you to have a fun summer read. They go together because they're both queer romances, and they both contain really badass, strong female main characters, and both main characters really delve in a really satisfying way into their backstories. And so that's my thematic thread. But they're also really different books. The first is Atmosphere by Jenkins Reid. This is just out this summer. It's a brand new book. I'm sure that most of you have heard of it if you're readers. This felt very different than a lot of other Taylor Jenkins Reid books to me. Took a longer time to kind of like get to the story. And so I've seen other readers rate this lower than they normally rate Jenkins Reid books. And it did for me. I was like, I'm not sure the story is moving. By the end, I loved it. I will say this, I think, more than I'm expecting to, but not a lot of books make me cry. This one made me cry. I was deeply invested. I was deeply invested in the character and her partner. I was deeply invested in what felt to me like a really beautiful and genuine love story. Also, it's a badass woman in space. It's female astronauts and mathematicians and pilots and engineers. So really strong scientific women, and they're breaking molds in a lot of ways. And so I really admired and loved the characters. Great book. Taylor Jenkins Reid tends to be really fun to read. I've been thinking about this one more than I usually do her books when I'm done. So mostly dessert with a little bit to chew on. And the other one, I loved this book, The 3 Lives of Cate Kay. The young character is heavily traumatized by something that happens to her when she's younger, around 18. She sort of takes off and reinvents herself and a life for herself, and becomes a writer. So I always love fiction about fiction. But she has to look back, hence the rearview mirror, and kind of tell the story of her past. There is a queer sapphic romance that is awesome. Also in this story, this is a really genuine story about female friendship. I would love to see that honored more, and the importance of female friendship. This book does that. This book was super fun to read. I was hooked. I found it to be kind of a page turner. I was in all the way. And I think about this book all the time. Absolutely all the time. I love the relationships. I love the friendship between the main character and her very close friend. So this set is awesome. I would read them together. They're both really fun. And I love thinking about like the queer romance, right? And what are the challenges of queer romance even in the modern time? This one did not take place in 2025. So what are the challenges past? What are the challenges present? How are women feeling about feeling safe and having a queer romance in the public eye, in the private eye? How are women utilizing or hiding from their female friendships? These are awesome books. I think they're super fun. Let me know what you think if you read either of them or if you read them together. Remember, it doesn't matter how you read. It doesn't matter what you read. It doesn't matter if you're reading fast or slowly, as long as reading for you is sparking joy.